Football fans, this is one of those moments that makes you stop in your tracks. The Minnesota Vikings preseason opener against the Houston Texans took a sudden, heartbreaking turn when wide receiver and punt returner Rondale Moore went down with what looked like a serious lower body injury. Just minutes into his Vikings debut, Moore's night and possibly his season was cut short. For a player who battled all the way back from a torn ACL that cost him the entire 2024 season, the sight of him being carted off the field was gut-wrenching. The crowd fell silent, teammates dropped to one knee, and you could feel the air get heavy inside US Bank Stadium. It happened in the second quarter. Moore caught the Vikings' first punt return of the game and shot toward the right sideline, showing that trademark burst fans were excited to see. But after being tackled out of bounds, something went wrong. Moore grabbed his left leg immediately, and the trainers sprinted over. The replay showed no obvious twist or awkward landing, but his reaction told the story. Frustration, pain, and maybe even disbelief. This wasn't just another play gone wrong. This was a moment that could change the Vikings' plans for 2025. Moore's emotional response was impossible to miss. As he was being driven away on the cart, he slammed his hands down hard enough that the sound echoed to the press box. The frustration was about more than just the injury itself. It was the timing, the effort he'd put into coming back, and the fact that this was his very first touch in a Vikings uniform. Just last year, he spent months rehabbing from an ACL tear suffered during a joint practice as a member of the Atlanta Falcons. Now, after finally getting cleared and earning a one-year deal with Minnesota, his future is once again in question. From a roster standpoint, this is a blow the Vikings could barely afford. Their wide receiver depth chart was already under stress. Justin Jefferson, the superstar, is dealing with a hamstring injury, though he's expected to be ready for Week 1. Jordan Addison will miss the first 3 games because of a suspension. That left Moore as a key piece, someone who could contribute both as a receiver and in special teams. Without him, the offense leans on players like Jalen Nailor, Lucky Jackson, rookie Ty Felton, Jashaun Jones, and Tim Jones, a group with talent but not much proven production at the NFL level. And speaking of special teams, Moore wasn't just another receiver. He was the penciled-in punt returner for Week 1, a role that comes with high-impact potential for flipping field position. Now, the Vikings might have to turn to rookie Silas Bolden. Bolden has a strong resume. He led the SEC in punt return yards in 2024 and the Pac-12 in kick return yards in 2022. But he's untested in the NFL. Making the jump from college dominance to pro-level return duties in a matter of weeks is no small task, especially under the bright lights of a regular season opener. Beyond X's and O's, there's the human side of this injury. Moore came into training camp healthy, motivated, and with something to prove. Players and coaches talked about his energy and leadership during practice. For him to face another potential season-ending injury is brutal, not only for his career but for his mental resilience. Teammates rushed over when he went down, and head coach Kevin O'Connell was right there offering words of encouragement. In football, injuries are part of the game, but for someone like Moore, this is another mountain to climb in what has already been a challenging journey. The reaction around the league was swift. Reporters like ESPN's Kevin Seifert noted the visible frustration on Moore's face, calling it a raw reminder of the physical and emotional toll repeated injuries can take on a player. Former NFL players chimed in on social media, sharing their own experiences with injury setbacks and sending words of support. That kind of solidarity is powerful. It shows that while the NFL is competitive, there's also an unspoken brotherhood among players who know just how fragile a football career can be. For the Vikings front office, this could trigger some quick decision-making. Do they explore free agency to add another experienced wideout? Big names like Amari Cooper and Gabe Davis are still available. Or do they gamble on developing the young talent already in the building? Each option has risks. Signing a proven veteran could provide stability, but might also mean adjusting the offensive playbook to fit a new player. Relying on rookies and second-year players keeps the future in mind, but could cost them early season wins. On the coaching side, offensive coordinator Wes Phillips may have to adjust his approach. Without Moore, the Vikings could shift toward more tight end heavy formations, leaning on players like TJ Hawkinson to pick up some of the lost production. Special teams coach Matt Daniels will also have to rework return assignments and blocking schemes, ensuring Bolden or whoever steps into the role is set up for success. These preseason games suddenly take on more importance, not for the final score, but for figuring out workable combinations before September. Fans shouldn't underestimate how a preseason injury can ripple through an entire season. Moore's absence could mean more snaps for rookies earlier than planned, which might lead to growing pains in critical moments. Chemistry between quarterbacks and receivers is built through repetition, and losing a projected contributor this early means others have to adapt quickly. And with Jefferson and Addison not fully available for the first few games, the Vikings risk starting the season with one of the thinnest receiver groups in the league. Still, there's a chance for silver linings. Football has a way of creating unexpected heroes. If Moore's injury opens the door for someone like Silas Bolden to shine, the Vikings could discover a hidden gem. It's also an opportunity for the coaching staff to show creativity and resilience. NFL seasons are marathons, and the teams that survive are the ones that adapt fastest to challenges. This situation will test Minnesota's adaptability from the top down, from general manager Kwesi Adofo-Mensah to the last man on the depth chart. For now, all eyes are on the upcoming medical evaluations. The Vikings are expected to release an update within the next 24 to 48 hours. And until then, speculation will run high. Whether Moore's out for weeks or the entire season, this moment serves as a reminder of how quickly fortunes can change in the NFL. One play, one cut, one awkward landing, and everything shifts. For Rondale Moore, this is another crossroads in his career. For the Vikings, it's a challenge that could shape their 2025 season before it even officially begins. And for fans, it's a sobering start to what was supposed to be a fresh new chapter.